Hello and welcome to another episode of the Portrait Profit Show. I'm so glad that you're here with us today. Got some fun stuff planned for you. Yeah, I had a relationship with a florist. I'm going to tell you about it. It's going to be fun. You're going to like it. And you're going to want to get a relationship with a florist too. All right, well, before I go on, I want to let you know my name is Jim Landers. And my mission, it's simple. I help portrait photographers like you make a great income doing what they love. Each week on the Portrait Profit Show, you get tips and systems on the business side of photography designed to help you gain a mastery over marketing and sales, reducing the struggles that most photographers face so you can finally get what you deserve. You're in the right place. Welcome to the Portrait Profit Show. The Portrait Profit Show is brought to you by Digital Pro Lab and Landers Photography School. And we have with us today Amanda from Digital Pro Lab. Hey, Amanda.
Hey, Tim. Hey, everybody. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you, too. Happy Monday.
It's going to be a good week. It's going to be a great day.
Of course. And you have something unique coming up at the end of your week, a 3-day weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. I Yeah, we've never really taken those 3-day weekends for some reason, but it's one of those things that, my staff, I love them to death. They're the backbone of what we do. And, when we can take a 3-day weekend, I know sometimes it may be a little inconvenient for some of our customers, but we got to take care of our own. And they need some time off, and we're going to give it to them. So all of us are taking a nice long 4th of July weekend. So we'll be closed Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Doesn't mean you can't send orders, because we receive orders 24/7 all the time. That doesn't stop. That's great. What's great about computers, and ordering systems and all that stuff, they can work while we can take a little time off. So it's been great.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I'm glad you guys get to have that time off. You deserve it. You and your team.
Yeah.
We love you guys.
Thanks, Jim.
All right. Well, did you have anything else you wanted to share? I know you'll be back on at the end to share some more.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely have some stuff to share at the end. I'm excited, and I'm really excited about today's topic. Actually, I'm a huge supporter of advocate marketing and partnerships. It's again something that has made us very successful, and we've done really well at it. So I love the fact that you're teaching on it. I love the fact that hopefully I'll get to speak a little bit on it towards the end, and I'm curious to see what questions we get on the topic, to see if anybody else is actually using partnerships to help you know add to their success in their businesses. So it's a topic that I love.
Nice. Well, good. Well, I guess we'll see you back in just a little while.
All
Thanks,
right, send
Amanda.
it.
All right. Well, if you're watching live right now, I'd like for you to enter in hashtag live. Just post it. Whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, enter in hashtag live. That way we know you're watching live. And I also want to encourage you. Oh, by the way, before you leave a comment, including hashtag live, if you haven't already, grant StreamYard permission to use your name. That way we know you're here. Otherwise, it's anonymous. If you want to be anonymous, that's fine too. But if you don't want to be anonymous and are okay with me knowing who you are, it only tells me if you give StreamYard permission to tell me. And that's just by clicking that link that you see at the bottom of your screen. It's in the post where you're at right now. Just go to the top of that post, and it's part of that message that's there. It may be in the more category where you have to hit more and see just a little bit more, but it's in that. It's right there in that post. So thank you for being here. Thank you for doing that again. Enter in hashtag live. That way I know you're watching us live. And let's see. It looks like we've got, oh, hey, Tina and Dave uh, Jr. and Pez. Hey, I'm glad you guys are here. Uh, Fantastic. Again, I can see that there's, uh, hey, Anita, I'm glad you're here. Um, Got a bunch. They keep coming in. Hey, even I'm watching. How's that possible? That's funny. And Robin's here. Hey, Robin. All right. So, again, if you're watching live, enter in hashtag live for me. That way I know you're here. And I'm encouraging you, if you've got questions or comments, please enter them post them. I want to see them. Maybe I can incorporate them into what we're talking about today. Uh, let's see. I want to invite you to come to lunch with me. So if you, this is mostly for portrait photographers. If they're not a portrait photographer, then that's fine. But it is more towards the portrait photographer. But I want to invite you to lunch. I take a photographer to lunch with me every single Tuesday, and the way that happens is by you clicking on, and I'll post this. Let's see. Let me grab that banner and I will post it in the comments. Comments. There we go. Hey, Ruben. Glad you're here. All right. So I just posted that in the comments, so you can see that link, and all you have to do is click on it, and you'll see my schedule, and you just choose the Tuesday that works best for you. Now, the reason I have it on Tuesdays is because I have lunch on Tuesday at the Dominion Country Club with my Rotary Club, and I have since 2002. So every Tuesday I'm there anyway, so I want to bring someone with me. And you get to hear a great speaker, and then afterwards we get to talk about you or your business. So sign up for Lunch with Landers. And there's something else that I do for free. Don't charge anything for. And that is, let me get rid of that banner. And that is the business assessment consultation, just to help you out with your business. Now, this is usually 20, 30 minutes long. Sometimes it goes long, but don't tell anybody. But I want to invite you to take advantage of that. And I'm going to, just like with the lunch, I'm going to put my calendar link in the comments. That way you can click on that and you'll be able to take advantage of that, again, for free. Doesn't cost anything. And so that's the address right there. You'll see it in the post. Just go down to the bottom of it. Probably showed up already. Probably see it. Click on that. You see the link to my calendar, and you just sign up for a time. It doesn't cost you anything. It's not a sales call. Now, if you ask questions about classes, obviously I'm going to answer those questions. But the purpose of this is to find out where you're at and where you're going. So feel free to take advantage of that. All right. One more thing before I move into the topic for today. Those two things are free, but I also have to, and Portrait Profits is free, but I have to do something to bring an income in. My kids like to eat, and so does my wife. So here's something that's not for free, but it's a great class, and it's absolutely worth it. But with this, just go to landersphotoschool.com and you'll see a Photo 101. This is 5 2-hour classes to really get to know your camera. Most people will find that after taking this class, they will know more than probably 80% of the people who claim themselves as being pros as far as the basics. There's a lot of pros who never learn their basics. They think they do. But let me tell you a story. A few years ago, I have a rule for my teachers, and that's unless you wrote it yourself, you can't teach the class until you've taken the class. And one of those teachers a while back was a very well-known photographer and considered one of the best in the field. But he took that Photo 101 first class, the very first one, and afterwards he came to me and he said, "I can't believe how much I didn't know. I'm not qualified to teach this class. You're going to learn some things you didn't know." And it's because it's not exactly the way I was taught. I've got a university degree in photography, and they did a good job, but it wasn't practical. It wasn't. It was something that was, in the idealistic range, in the textbook range. But as far as I teach it to use it, kind of like when you drive a car, you can drive a Ford or a Mercedes and be fine. You just have to find where the buttons are, but you can drive either one of them, no problem. It's not teaching to the camera, it's teaching to photography. And so the things that I'm going to share with you are going to be taught in a way that is much different than I learned myself. This is going to be 5 2-hour classes beginning on July 5th. Somebody put that up there too. Photo 101 beginning July 5th. It's 2-hour sessions, a total of 5 of them. So it'll be on Tuesday, Thursday, and then the next week Tuesday, Thursday, then the next week Tuesday, Thursday. Except for that second Thursday, it's not going to be a class. It's going to be an optional camera club meeting, because that's when Photo SA meets, and that's where I'll be. So I'll invite you to that instead of class that particular day. But I definitely invite you to look into that and our other classes at landersphotoschool.com. There's well over 120 different titles to choose from, both group and private sessions. A lot of people prefer private sessions, so those are available there as well as coaching. So take a moment to go see what's available at landersphotoschool.com. All right. Now, today we're talking about my relationship with the florist. Yeah, it's true, and yes, I realize how that sounds. Let's tell that story. It was a dark and stormy night. Just kidding, it wasn't. But I did have a fantastic relationship with a florist that lasted many years. And yes, my wife knew about it. That relationship brought both the florist and myself a lot of new business. It wasn't the kind of relationship that title may have implied. It was a business relationship. It started decades ago when my then business partner reached out to a florist and asked a simple question. Would it be beneficial to your business to provide a bridal bouquet to my brides for their bridal portrait? And if so, I would be happy to provide you with an 8x10 print so that you can collect as many professional images over the years as we could possibly get to you to help with your marketing. I had heard of business alliances at that point. And I had actually already done a couple of them, but I just kind of sort of did it. It wasn't something I had organized or planned. It was just something that kind of happened. But here I am watching it. My business partner just doing it as if it was nothing. The florist enthusiastically agreed. It was just a verbal agreement. No strings attached, no worries, there was none of that. But that every single time we had a bridal portrait scheduled, we would call the florist. They would put it on their schedule because we'd tell them in advance. Now, one of those things is we didn't get to choose which bouquet we got. It was whatever they had on hand that was extra that was probably going to be going bad. But they always looked amazing, so that was never an issue. They always looked fantastic. They were beautiful every single time. And the bride got fresh flowers, which was something that I didn't see any other photographer doing. And again, this was 2 decades ago. This wasn't something that was recent. This was a good amount of time ago. Business alliances, or as some people call them, partnerships. And it goes by different other names too. I might mention some others later. But they can be financially beneficial to all concerned. And in this instance, it brought in lots of extra business that we could track It works, and it works really well. In this episode of the Portrait Profit Show, I'm going to share the secrets that business alliances can bring to boost your business and the business of your alliances. Yes, plural. You need more than one. So, what is a business alliance? Let's make sure that you have an understanding of what that means before I go any further. A business alliance is a marketing tool where there's an agreement between you, well, your company, and another company, which is beneficial to all parties involved. It's to help market your concept, your product, your service, and to help them market theirs. It's a symbiotic relationship, which can be short-term or long-term. Usually long-term, but it can be short-term as well. And it does go by other names. You may have heard partnering, joint venture, strategic alliance. It does go by some different names. So that's what it is. But how do we start one? Well, let's talk about that. One first step, I want you to write down a list of companies that target the same people that you target, or maybe want to target. And I recommend that this list has 12 on it. I don't want you to stop at 2 or 3. There are a lot of businesses that target the same market that you're targeting. So write down a list of 12, even those you don't think you can get. Generally speaking, it is best to work with locals. That way you can actually talk to the owner. But it doesn't necessarily have to be. That's number 1. Number 2, find out who the contact person is. It could be an owner, but it also could be a manager. It could be a marketing manager. Find out who that person is that you need to talk to. You can usually find that on our website. And then number 3, I want you to reach out to the potential alliances. So in reaching out, I want you to, so once you've made the list and you know who to contact, reach out to them either in person, over the phone, or you're busy, so maybe the most passive option, send an email or send a letter. Now, as far as what should that letter include, I'm going to tell you. In fact, let me make my screen bigger and I'll just share it with you real quick. I'm looking at my notes. So zoom in. 200 might be too much. Nope, it's perfect. All right, so I'm going to share my screen with you. And this is what I want you to include. Now, these are the basics. I want you to put your own flair to it, but these are the basics that this initial contact should include. So, if this is a letter, you are putting, just like you'd write a letter, their business name, the contact's name, the contact's address, city, state, zip, all that kind of good stuff, the date, and then dear the contact, and then I am the owner of. You put your business there. The purpose of this letter is to schedule a 15-minute meeting with you. I'm convinced that we can increase your customer loyalty and word-of-mouth marketing at absolutely no cost to you that would be beneficial to both of us. Now, I need for you to say this in a way that doesn't sound salesy, that sounds like it's coming from you. This is just to get your mind in the right direction, not so that you copy these exact words. It needs to be from you. It needs to sound like this is something that you guys are on an equal plane and you can benefit each other. I look forward to contacting you within the next few days to schedule a convenient time to meet. Now, that's if you write it in a letter. if you write it in an email, put a link to your calendar there. Earlier today, you saw me put my link in the post, or I posted my link where you could get onto my calendar for Lunch with Landers or for the business assessment consultation. And that's just clicking a link, seeing my schedule, clicking the time that works for you. Done. Same thing here. I use Calendly.com for that. Calendly. It's not the only program out there. You may even have it with your studio management program, but use something that makes it easy for them. All right, I'll stop that sharing. But now you can see what it was I'm referring to. And let me make this smaller again. There we go. All right. And that's still too big. There we go. All right. Now, I want you to keep this in mind. Whether it's done via... there we go. Whether it's done via email, snail mail, by phone, or in person, your objective here is to get a meeting, some time to visit with them, not to sell the concept with the letter over the phone or over the phone. Sometimes it's not easy, and it of course helps if you have a warm lead, someone you already know, but just keep at it. Yeah, it may take quite a few until you get one to do this. I've had good success with it. It's actually quite rare that someone doesn't agree to it. But maybe it's because I've been doing it for a while. Maybe because I got to see good people, the right people do their thing, and I emulated that. But I have heard stories where someone has reached out to 10 or 20 before they got their first one. It hasn't ever taken me that long. It's usually right away. But it's also because we understand the concept. We understand the big picture, and we're doing a good job of explaining it to them. Because what you are going to offer is beneficial to both. And all you have to do is convey that, how beneficial it is, and their ears perk up. And I'll give you an example. I'll talk about it here in just a bit. So once you do have that company, you're very likely to get a steady stream of clients for years, and they will too. You do have to nurture that relationship, though. It doesn't just happen. You have to keep in contact. You've got to have good communication with those companies, those individuals, those people that you are creating these alliances with. You treat them like gold. You treat them like they are incredibly valuable, because they are. In fact, the way I see it, they're more valuable than gold because they give you a steady stream of qualified leads. So let's talk about what to do and how to do it. Here's one way to do it. There's a lot of ways to do this, but here's one way. When they make a sale, they can give their client a thank you gift. That thank you gift appears to be from them, but it's from you because of your business alliance. For me, it was worth several $100s, and I'll tell you why in just a second. But it cost the giver, the person who's giving that thank you gift, that my alliance partner giving that gift to their client, it cost them nothing. I didn't charge them anything. They look great, and I'm getting a new client as a result. Let me give you an example. So let's say I was partnering with a realtor, and they've just sold a home to and just so you know, I specialize in emotional family portraits as home decor. So for me, I am partnering with the realtor because they work with families. Now, I know not everybody they sell a home to is a family, but Many of them are. So therefore, good potential business alliance. And so what I've done is I've given that realtor a certificate for it's a gift certificate for a family portrait session. Now, it doesn't include any prints. You heard when I stated what I do. I specialize in emotional family portraits as home decor, meaning I print. If you're not printing, this might not be the way to go, but in my opinion, you should be printing. You're a photographer. You want people to see your work, and the way to do that is by putting it up on the wall. So anyway, that's a different story. So that's what I choose to do, and I have a gift certificate that it appears that the realtor purchased from me. They didn't. They gave it to them, but it appears that they gave it to them. Now you may be thinking, well, why would I give it away? Because I didn't have to do any I had zero marketing effort. Once I start, I mean, yes, there's the initial, but after years and years have gone by, I don't continue that same initial effort. So therefore, every time they sell a home to a family, which maybe once or twice a month, it could be less. But it's why I said earlier, you need multiple business alliances, not just one. So I would give that to them ahead of time. I'd give them maybe 10 ahead, and they would let me know. Or actually, I'd be calling them regularly, maybe once every couple of weeks or a month, no more than 45 days. I go in between times when I've had some communication with that business alliance, usually at least once a month. And I find out, do they need any more? And since I gave them 10 already, and I know there's only been one used, I know that they haven't used 10. Or do I? I don't actually know how many they've got given out, because it is incumbent on the person they give it to reach out to me in order to use it. So it's very likely that they've given out more that haven't just reached out to me yet. By the way, there is a way to remedy that particular issue, but that's for a later time. That's for the advanced class, not the 1 hour session. So, but the gift appears to be from them. Now, there's a few things that you need to understand about this. The concept is actually really easy. And if you feel that it's not easy, it's because we haven't thought about it or planned it well enough yet. But it is. It's really easy. The execution of it, though, well, just like everything else, it takes time to set up. But once you've got it set up, the only time you're spending is nurturing. And that is not difficult. And it's probably something you do anyway. It's just a matter of picking up the phone or sending an email and saying, hey, how's it going? How's business? Which you probably do already. This is fun, and it is absolutely rewarding. And you can imagine, if that realtor only sent one a month or one every 2 months, but you had several different businesses, not just realtors, that's just an example, but you have several different businesses sending you business, how many do you actually need? Photographers who are low volume generally need somewhere between 1 and 12 per month. That's usually the low volume photographers are under 12. And so if you get business alliances, I'm sure you can imagine, there's no reason to do any other type of marketing whatsoever. No paid ads, none of that stuff. You don't even need social media. I'm not recommending against social media in any way, but I'm telling you, if you have these business alliances set up, you won't need anything else. Your clients will just keep streaming in. All right, now after you have secured an alliance, you're going to supply them with what they need in order to make this work. And it's different for each one. I gave you the example of the realtor, but it's not necessarily the same for every different type of alliance you're going to get. This could be, as far as what you need to get these certificates, I got them printed. In fact, I recommend that you use Digital Pro Lab, their digital press printing, to make this pretty. Yes, you can print print it on your own computer, but it looks so much better, and it's really not expensive to get Digital Pro Lab to do it. So I definitely recommend that. It has a much better presentation than you can do on your own. I want to make sure you understand that this must be seen as a gift from your business alliance to their client, not from you. Where possible, practical, useful, use their logo. Now, if they're buying a gift, if it appears that they bought a gift certificate from you, then obviously you're not going to use their logo on it. But there's times when you do, and I use it every once in a while when it's appropriate. Again, I recommend that you get these printed at Digital Pro Lab. If you choose to have press cards printed, I recommend that you put, if you do cards, as far as just a single card front and back, that's one thing. But if you're doing a card like a thank you card, have something on the front, printed on the front, and leave the interior just blank, so that you can hand write your message in there. And that's there's different ways of doing this. So I'm not saying that's the way you do it every single time. I'm just saying think it through, make it appropriate for what you're trying to accomplish. I recommend that even if you have press cards printed, digital press cards printed that have everything that is needed on there, and there's no reason to write anything, I still recommend that you do something with it, like put your initials on it, put a date, like an expiration date on it. Just something that makes it a little bit more personalized. The initials lend a personalized touch. The expiration leads to a call to action so that they'll take care of it soon. And so that you can do your tracking. You need to be able to track how well things are working. If the alliance has a problem with you putting a date on it, then just say you won't enforce it. That it's there just to cause things to happen in a timely fashion. All right. Make sure the cards aren't transferable. So if you're going to go to that extent, this is for that one person. It can't be used as a gift for someone else. And there's a good reason for that, and that's because your follow-up includes it. And if they've given it to someone else, there's a disconnect. We give away the creation fee and sometimes a print. And if you're going to give away a print, I'd recommend an 11 by 14, not an 8 by 10. There's a couple of reasons for that. An 8 by 10, if a business is going, a photography business is going to give away a print, it's often the 8 by 10, and it's been done that way for, and I'm probably not exaggerating, 100 years. So there's nothing new, and you're only putting yourself in the crowd. And for just a tiny bit more, there's really not much difference in the price between 8 by 10 and 11 by 14. You can give them something a little bit special. Plus, 11 by 14, it's probably the most useless size available because it's too big for the desk and it's too small as a standalone portrait. And so they'll likely ask if they can upgrade it. And so, yeah, you upgrade it to a larger size. Up to you how you do that part, though. For those of you that have a studio, make sure the certificate is good for in-studio use only, even if you do some of your sessions outside of the studio on location. If you're a studio owner who also accepts requests to go on location, make sure that you have some additional amount that they can add as an add-on for the on-location option. Maybe $100, $200, whatever's appropriate for you. Yeah. By the way, I'm looking at the comments. Let's see. Oh, thanks, Junior. Appreciate that. And Janice, glad you're here. Paula, glad you're here. Dave, good question. Business alliances with realtors. Oh yeah. We'll talk about a few more ideas, but each one of them has its own little nuances that you work with for that particular industry and who their clients are. but absolutely with realtors. Some realtors are real go-getters, and others do it kind of on the side. So you definitely want to choose those realtors who fit your target market the best, and not waste your time with those who aren't really serious about it. So yeah, definitely with realtors. Good. Yeah. Paula, you add more for on location anyway. Now, I'm not saying that everybody has to do that. I'm saying for at the very least for this certificate, because an add-on is a good thing. Definitely a good thing. So let's talk about the sales of your services and products. So, what can you expect for sales from these sessions that come from these business alliances? Do you expect them to be less? They weren't looking for a photographer anyway, so there's going to be. Okay, maybe that's true. But here's a good guide. For any type of promotion you do where people get something for free or reduced, let's say free in this particular example. If they are receiving this free gift and they use it, there will be about 30% of them who really don't buy anything. So if you get this session, my session fees are $400, and you include an 11 by 14 print, you'll have 30% who buy nothing. I'm starting off with the bad news, because that does not sound like fun, and it hurts just a little bit. Actually, it hurts a lot. However, you're taking a little bit of bad, and let me tell you about the good side, because that means 70% are buying. 70%. This is a good thing, because you would not have had these at all had you not formed this business alliance. 30% will buy right around your average. Maybe it's a little less than average. Maybe it's a little more than average, but right around your average. And 30%. Now, I know this doesn't add up to 100, but a third. It's a third. 30% buy way over your average. Just think that person with the new home has walls, they have space that they haven't filled up yet. Your photograph is going on the wall. They buy big. Do not let yourself get bothered if a session doesn't make a purchase. Just move on. Because you will still have great average sales as a result. Treat them the same, even if they're not buying. Treat them the same. Treat everyone the same. Doesn't matter whether they're buying or not. Because this is a gift from your business alliance, the person they're working with. This was a gift from them. You are a gift. You're something that is happy, something that is wonderful. So treat them the same, whether they bought or whether they didn't buy anything. Even if let's say someone bought your largest package ever or the largest sale ever, treat them the same as that person. Treat the people who didn't buy anything the same as that person. They'll be back. Plus, you want good reports going back to your business partner, your business alliance partner. All right. During the planning session, I call it a design consultation, but during the planning session, we tell clients that the projection session, the portrait selection consultation we project, will credit them 100% of the difference for that 11 by 14 if they want to upgrade to a larger size. So I do that. And most do order something larger, so it is credited. That's very normal for me. Do not credit towards a package of prints. Do not credit towards smaller. If someone says, I just want 2 5x7s, and you say, well, it's just for one print up to 11 by 14, so I'd be happy to give you that one 11 by 14 for free because that is one print, and I'll just charge you for the other one. they'll wind up getting an 11 by 14 and a 5 by 7, but that's fine. So here's a couple notes. Here's something else you want to do, especially when you are starting with a new alliance. Make a few note cards with the family photograph. Take one of those envelopes and stamp with the stamp and address on it already to your client. All right. This is something that is easily done, but I want you to think about this for just a moment. Our goal is to make sure that not only that client, our new client, and is happy, but also the business alliance. We want to make sure that they know that the client that is now both of our clients is thrilled. And so here's one way that I do that. I print 4 up or 2 up, but I have a total of 4 cards that I make. One of them is going to be used by the family I just photographed, and they get to keep the other 3 as a gift for doing this. But I give them these cards and I ask them, and I tell them I'm going to do this ahead of time. So during the planning session, I tell them that this is coming, and during the portrait selection consultation, I tell them that they'll be doing it when they get the prints. But when I deliver the prints, that's when I have this note card that's ready with their family portrait on it, and inside it's blank. And this is digital press printed cards from Digital Pro Lab. So I have these 4 that are made. You can do this on your own home printer too if you don't want to do that. So that's fine too. But print these, have them put something in that interior of that card that you've created. And, something along the lines of, man, we thank you so much for this gift. We really love our photograph. We appreciate you and the work you did for us and the gift that you gave us. Something along those lines. Put that in an envelope, stamp it, and you mail it. You stamp it, you mail it. Now, couldn't you just ask them to do that? I'm giving them these 4 cards. They're only using one of them. Okay. They will say absolutely yes. They're happy to do it. But they have lives just like you. They're busy. They have a million things going on. When it's just you and them, they're focused on what's going on right now. But when you leave, the million things that go on in their life come rushing right back in. And you aren't a priority, and you certainly aren't, that letter certainly is not urgent. It gets put into a stack somewhere of important things to do. It won't get done. But if you do that right in front of them, just write that real quick. I'm going to put it in an envelope. I'm going to stamp it. I'm going to put it in the post office box before, right away. They'll do it. And in exchange, you're giving them those extra 3 that they can do anything they want with envelopes. So that's what I recommend in order to get it done. Now, let's talk about some of the fine details. Let's talk about the alliance agreement. Now, when you have secured an alliance, we've talked about it, we've agreed that this is a good thing, this is mutually beneficial, then I recommend that you have a written business alliance, but I'm going to read this to you. In fact, I'm going to share my screen so you can see it. Share screen. Window. There we go. All right. So this is the business alliance agreement. That you create your own. This is the one that I use. By the way, if you're one of my students, all these things that you see, the handout, the different templates, this is yours for the asking if you're one of my students. So marketing alliance agreement. This is not a legal contract. I want to state that right from the beginning. That's not what this is. It's a piece of paper that says we understand the benefit of working together. I want to keep people on the same page. I want to make sure that we know what's going on. Thank you for entering into a marketing alliance with Landers Photography. Obviously, you're going to put your name and your logo on here. I'm sure that you will find that aligning yourself with us has a positive impact on your business in terms of how your client sees you and the value you add to their experience with your business. You get to give your families a valuable gift from a top professional that further enhances your reputation. The requirements? Very simple. Number 1, you give us the contact information for your families or give them our information. 2, Now, by the way, you give us an ad in your magazine. This was a marketing agreement with a magazine. And I'll tell you about it here in just a second. All right, it's that easy. We can assure you that there is no obligation for any purchase and absolutely no pressure sales tactics will be used. Everyone is able to make additional purchases if they desire, of course. At any time, if either party chooses not to continue this alliance, it's gone. It's canceled. And I get them to sign it, and I give them a copy. That's actually not all. There's a whole manual that I give them. And yes, my students get that. In fact, there's a class coming up called Essential Marketing that has this and 8 other ways to do marketing, and only one of which is online. So there's so many ways to do this. All right, so I mentioned that this one says "add in your magazine." You can see that is definitely customized to this individual alliance. It's definitely not the realtor example that I gave, because there's no magazine in that instance, but this one was, and this was a magazine that was a suburb of San Antonio, Texas, and so they had their own city magazine, and on the cover of every single magazine, they had a family, a local family, which is really cool for a city magazine to do such a thing. So myself and my business alliance, the publisher of this magazine, needed a family portrait every single month. Well, this publisher is busy. He doesn't have time to do all that work himself. Hire a photographer every single time. All this other. So what he does, or did, this is something we used to do. What he did was get that family, give me the information so that I could reach out to them, schedule it, and take care of it. And then give him the cover photograph. And there is an article inside called the Family Spotlight that had 4 additional images that I created. And so I sent him 5 total images. And as far as the ad space, I got the cover of the magazine with my logo on it. So that was my ad space. So at first I actually had ad space in addition to that, but eventually it just became that front cover only, which is fine. Totally fine. So that is another example of what I did. All right, so that was the Marketing Alliance Agreement. Use that, again, as a template. You're going to want to change the words because they don't always apply. And besides, it needs to look like it's coming from you. And that looks like it's coming from me. All right, so I have a suggestion on, once you have gotten your first business alliance, use it as a tool to get the next one. And you do that by getting a testimonial from that business alliance. A market alliance is a simple idea. A business alliance is a simple idea that that can bring you a continuous flow of qualified leads for years. So take the time to contact, set up, and nurture those alliances. Getting new clients is one of the most difficult and expensive concerns portrait photographers face. A well-run alliance program is a solution that makes you, the potential client, and your alliance partners happy. With that in mind, once you've gotten your first, get a testimonial from that first. And then use that in a letter or email that you send on to the next. And so I'm going to share that with you as well. Give me a second to increase its size. There we go. All right, so I'm going to share this with you. This is the letter that I would send after I've gotten an alliance. This is the next one. It's a marketing tool to get alliances after the first one. So you can see, a few days ago, we sent you some basic information about our Marketing Alliance program. This is a perfect way to give a valuable gift for your clients. And best of all, it costs you nothing. And it builds customer loyalty and great word of mouth. You can be associated with one of, and I'm in San Antonio, so San Antonio's top portrait artists. And once again, it's free to you. Just look below to see how much, and this is the name of the other current alliance, values our relationship. And this is the letter that they sent me. So we really appreciate the business relationship we have developed. I am thrilled to give such a valuable gift to our clients. We've had several clients take advantage of the free session and portrait that we gave them as a thank you gift when they purchase and would be whatever it is that they sell, so a house from us. I have seen some of the pictures you have made, and they have come out great. We get quite a few thank you cards with pictures you have taken from our mutual clients. Keep up the great work. So I end that to the potential marketing alliance. Call us today to see how your business can also benefit from our Marketing Alliance program. You've got nothing to lose and years of new clients to gain or to make happy, depending on that alliance. All right, so that is a sample alliance contact letter once I have the first. And you're probably thinking, okay, it's easy after the first. It does get easier after the first, but the first one's not hard. Now, I mentioned that there is an entire manual, a procedure manual, something that I have for me and that I give to my Marketing Alliance partner. It's a book. And let's see, do I have one handy? I usually have one sitting out so that I can show it real easily, but I don't always. Nope, I don't. All right, I've got tons of binders all over my workspace. And it might be in there somewhere, but I'm not seeing it right now. Anyway, so it has all of the different parts. And in our essential marketing program, the essential marketing program that we do in a couple months is 9 2-hour sessions on marketing for photographers. And one of them is the Business Alliance. And it includes the marketing manual, all the things that I do, all of the templates, all of the words that I use, the agreements, all of it is there. But what I want you to consider when managing the relationship with them is to create an alliance marketing procedure manual. And in this manual, you'll have a table of contents. You'll have the statements, the goals statement, the purpose statement, and a short version of the how-to and how this works. Then a contact information page for both so that they can easily contact you when they have a question. Then the procedures. This is my procedures for my clients is one, and my procedures for my partner, my business alliance, is the other. So, and also include a sample letter, the sample letter that I would recommend that they would send out just to get their mind going in the right direction. They're going to do it the way they want to do it, but also what it is that I send to their client in hopes of them becoming mine. So what am I sending? I want them to be fully aware of what's going on, why this is happening. And then there's an appendix that has the different reporting that I need. So just so that I can see how well this alliance is working. Because there are times when you form an alliance and there's just nothing going on. Now, that doesn't mean that you break the alliance and you say, I'm out, I'm done, you're no good. Nope. It probably means they've forgotten or they weren't sure on what to do. So the next time you reach out, you just happen to notice that they haven't sent any business to you in a while, and you comment on that, making sure that they understand what's going on. Usually it's something that happens initially, and once they get an understanding, or it's something that just things get in the way, they forgot for some reason. But the fact that you're nurturing it and you're calling them once every few weeks, a couple 2 weeks to 4 weeks every month, causes them to not forget about you. So you're good there. But reporting, I want to be able to see how many they've sent. I also want to see the people that have become my clients. What happens? How much are they spending? I actually want to know what the average sale is from that individual business alliance. That way, when I'm creating business alliances, I see this person has average sale that is bringing my average sale down. Then I might want to consider expanding my business alliances, see if I can find someone who has more. And after a while, it'll probably take about 6 months to identify, I may not work with that one quite as much because it's slowing me down a little bit. But the only way I'll know is if I'm reporting, if I'm keeping records of these things. By the way, this also in the appendix will also include completed checklists, client notes, any correspondence that we've had, and all the note cards that I've created. There's a ton of stuff that goes into this manual. I can see there's a few comments here. I better get to those. Hey, Tiffany. Glad you're here. Joining in during lunch. Wonderful. And Ruben, I have a feeling you're not on a horse. You're saying something positive about what you're hearing today. Good. I love it. Let's see. Ruben, awesome. That's same. Perfect. Glad you're enjoying this, Ruben. Freezing. Oh, well, that's not good. Hopefully it's not on my end. Good. Now, again, I want to encourage you guys, make comments, ask questions. No, David. So Dave says he got used to that 30% thing. All right. Yeah, that's not unusual. It's not that way in all businesses, of course. But for alliance marketing, you definitely do come across those who they don't buy anything, and it is frustrating. But you take that bad because you've got so much good that comes in addition. So 2/3 are fantastic. 1/3 feels like a waste of time. And you'll get better about reducing that, by the way. And in the extended class, the essential marketing session program that I do, I talk about how to reduce those, how to make that where that percentage drops, because there are ways to improve that. You're going to want to. You're not going to want to deal with that, but that's for later because that's too involved. If you're watching live, will you do me a favor and enter in hashtag live? That way I know that you're watching live. If you're watching the replay, then enter in hashtag replay. But if you're watching live, please enter in hashtag live. That way I know that you're watching. All right. I've got a few action steps for you. Some things that you could be doing. Make a list of all of companies that target the same market that you're targeting. Next, find out who to contact. Next one, database. I want you to add these people. Maybe you create a separate database just for this, but I want to make sure that your business alliances, you've got good contact information on. First name, last name, business name, phone number, address, email, Facebook page, Instagram page, all that good stuff. Make sure that you have good contact information on each one of your alliances. Next, I want you to create a telephone script. So when you're making a phone call, you know what words to use when you're contacting someone who's brand new and talking to someone who you've worked with before. So you know what to say so that your message is consistent. Also, a phone script for what you say to the new clients that you're getting from this relationship. You need to have a consistent message with them as well. I want you to create an initial contact letter. Now, this could be something you email, but create the message. Next is create your marketing agreement. These are things that I showed you on the screen a little while ago. Create your marketing agreement. Next, create your alliance marketing procedure manual. And I want you to put this all into a place where it's easily found. Put it all into one folder on your computer drive, or print it out and put it into a 3-ring binder. I do both. I like seeing it in physical out. So those are your action steps for today. Business alliances can be so successful that you'll never have to spend a dollar on advertising. Just like any goal, it starts with a plan. Then start reaching out to those businesses and target your same that target your same market. Get a few alliances going. And what you'll find is that you have your best freaking year ever. So cozy up to a dentist. Tell a real estate agent that you can make great things happen for both of you. And reach out to a car salesperson with an exciting long-term relationship offer. And have that relationship with the florist, because it's good for both you and them. I hope you've enjoyed my relationship with the florist. Now, before I tell you about the upcoming shows, and we've got some good ones. In fact, I'll tell you real quick. We've got some things coming up on mini sessions. And this will be a fun one next month. The advantages of being an introvert. That's going to be on July 18th. All right, I said before, but might as well just tell you. So on July 4th, we won't be doing it live. We'll be doing a recording, but it'll be on big profits from mini sessions. And then we'll have a panel on mini sessions. And that one's at 6:30. The panels are always on at the second Monday of each month at 6:30 in the evening. And then the advantages of being an introvert. And then the last one for July is actually our 75th episode. And that one's going to be confidence is a skill. Confidence is a skill. All right. So I'm going to bring Amanda back on. Hey, Amanda.
Hey, Jim. Oh my gosh, such valuable information. I love that you provided actual tangible things that people can do to get started, and showed great examples of, things that Landers Photography Studio has done. So bravo. I think that's
Thank you. I appreciate it.
yeah.
I appreciate it. Yeah, Alliance Marketing Works. What we are doing right now, you guys, with Landers Photography School and Digital Pro Lab is an alliance. It's a marketing alliance. It's two different businesses who target the same people, and not 100%. There's just overlap in who we are targeting. So therefore, it's beneficial for us to work together.
Absolutely. It's always been a big benefit for us. And more than that, it's a benefit to our customers that we have that alliance. Because at the end of the day, if we're not giving value, then what are we doing, right? As business owners, as people that want to help other people, and it should be beneficial in that way for not only the two partners, but the partners that have people that will be benefiting from them. So I think it's great.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, did you have some stuff you wanted to share with us?
Yes, of course.
Awesome.
So, real quick, let's see. First things first, because everybody always looks forward to it, is the promo code. So, again, I'm extending last week's promo code, and I've been doing that a couple of times over and over again. So, if you haven't gotten the hint there, I do like to extend some of these promo codes. One, because we're seeing that they're highly effective for those of you that are taking advantage of it. And then I'm also getting some feedback from individuals that may, we get really busy sometimes and may not be able to take advantage of it within the time frame. So sometimes I'll extend it if I hear that from some of y'all. So I am very responsive to feedback, whether it's feedback here through the comment section, or if you want to reach out to me at amanda@digitalprolab.com. So please do that. But again, we're extending the promo code from last week, which was 30% off fine art prints, code FINEART30, and that's going to be good through July 3rd, which is this coming Sunday. So hopefully you've got a little bit of time to, go ahead and put through some prints, because the one thing that we want to encourage all of our photographers is not only to encourage printing for your company, for your clients, but also printing for yourself. So I like to remind you of that, because if you're not printing, then how can you expect your customers to print as well? You need to kind of have and cultivate that love and appreciation for something tangible that you want your clients to appreciate as well. There's no better way to do that than to do it yourself and experience what your clients are experiencing. So take advantage of any promo code that we provide, as often as you can, because again, that's going to cultivate that deeper connection and understanding to what you're producing. So there's a promo code for that. And let me go ahead and just a reminder, go to digitalprolab.com to go ahead and submit your orders. We have great online ordering systems, both browser-based as well as desktop-based, where you actually download a more robust version of our ordering system that gives you access to more tools that you can actually utilize, especially if you're looking at doing maybe custom sizes, which, I'm sure Jim has some opinions around custom sizes. Doing custom sizes sometimes can give you a little bit more of an edge to provide a size that nobody else can offer. Now, I did catch, in the Portrait Profit session for today, that Jim wasn't a big fan of 11 by 14s. I'm a fan of all sizes, all shapes. I think every print size deserves, notice, and it's up to you to figure out what those sizes are going to be that are appropriate for your company. So again, that downloadable ordering system will give you access to the tools that will allow you to be a little bit more flexible in the sizes that you choose. So hopefully you can take advantage of that. And if you need training on that, don't hesitate to give us a call. We have staff either in-house that you can come and visit, or over the phone, or we can log into your computer and kind of do a little bit more of a deep dive on our ordering system, so you really understand the power of the tool that we're actually allowing you access to. So there's that. And then let's see. All right. So as always, I like to mention that we do have 2 print workflows here at Digital Pro Lab. And that's really print workflow for us is the difference between whether you as a photographer are actually editing your images and wanting the lab to do absolutely nothing but print to a high quality standard, or if you want the lab to take care of more than that, doing, color correction or any restoration that might need to be done. So that would be our full service print method. So monitor match is the one that I always recommend for those of you that are actually color correcting your own images, doing your own retouching. You really just want to partner with a lab to produce the prints to the highest quality, right? That means we're doing high quality printing, silver halide printing, high resolution inkjet printing. We're doing sublimation printing, which is, to metal, things like that. And you want to make sure that you're getting the best rates, and really the best rates that we're able to offer, the ones that we offer through our monitor match print workflow. So take a look down there. If you have any questions, go to digitalprolab.com, click on ordering, and then you're going to see the information for monitor match, or you can reach out to me directly at amanda@digitalprolab.com. I'm very accessible. As an owner of the company, I try to maintain the relationships that I make with individual clients, especially those of you that are trying to start your own businesses. I run my own business along with my husband, so I have a different understanding of what you're going through. And I want to make sure that you're successful, because at the end of the day, that's what makes us successful as well. So on the topic of partnerships and alliances, there's no greater alliance that you could have as a professional photographer than the one that you develop with your lab, especially if you're producing prints. So you want to make sure that you make that connection. And let's see. Another option is If you're looking for events in San Antonio, I know Jim has some that he lists and he advertises as well, but we also advertise some of the ones that he's doing as well as others that we're involved with here in San Antonio specifically on our website. So that's going to be at digitalprolab.com/events. Last week we had our espresso and edits, which was our monthly meetup that we do where we just kind of hang out with other photographers and creatives and talk shop. We talk editing techniques, all that good stuff. So it's really great creative space for creatives to hang out with. And then lastly, last week, Jim and I launched our survey. So this is a feedback survey that I think is really important for us and then for y'all as well to be able to give us some feedback. It's a 3-question survey. So does not take very long. We really want to know, how you like the flow of what we're doing as far as timing. We also, look to see what value you're getting out of this and where you could see potential other things that we can provide. And again, all of this is done for free. We do it because we want to give back and help you. And so hopefully that's working out. And I think it is. I don't know. What do you think, Jim? I would say we're getting some pretty good feedback, not only in the comment section, but from what I'm hearing.
Yeah, definitely. I certainly appreciate you guys sharing your thoughts and suggestions, and because they definitely help us with our direction. There's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes, and your thoughts and suggestions will help direct those.
Yeah. So please, if you can just take a few minutes and fill out the survey, that'll be very helpful for us.
I agree. Thank you for putting that together.
Yeah,
Thanks
no
for all
problem.
the cool stuff that you're doing and putting all the photographer events on your page so that, if someone's looking for something to do, and by the way, there's a lot of good stuff to do, there's a place to go and look. So that's fantastic. Looks like Rick wants you to put together a workshop at DPL. He wants to see and feel all the different products that you have to offer. Looking at different finishes. There's so many things to choose from. So I understand exactly why you're asking for that.
Mhm.
And I would assume you're not the only one because there are a lot of cool options, and some of them are ideal and perfect for what you are doing with your clients, and others of them aren't, and that's fine. I mean, anytime you go into Home Depot or Lowe's, do you need everything on every shelf? So of course not. So you find the things that are right for you, and you get those. But so that makes sense, Rick.
Awesome. Noted.
Oh, Nita said that would be awesome too.
Yeah, I would
So
love to
both.
host more workshops. It's definitely on the list of things that I'll be adding here in the next few months.
Oh, Tina, I guess we have some people agreeing. Okay, perfect.
Great.
Good. All right. So take advantage of that survey, you guys. It's very quick. It's probably the quickest survey you've ever done. Uh, well, who knows? Maybe you have done something quicker. But let's put on your promo code one more time. Do you have that handy?
Yes.
There we go. All right. So take advantage of that, you guys. Any fine art print, 30% off. All you have to do is enter in a promo code, fine art 30.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you for always doing that for us.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. We appreciate it. I'm speaking on behalf of the 100,000 photographers in San Antonio.
I get it.
Was there anything else that you wanted to share with us?
I think that covers it for this week.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, thank you so much for being here and making this happen. Our business alliance is definitely beneficial to all concerned. It's beneficial to us. It's beneficial to all the photographers in the area
Good. Well, thank you so
and
much, Tim,
beyond. Of
for all
course.
you do as well. Couldn't do it
Of
without you,
course.
obviously.
Well, thank you. All right. Well, uh, I guess that's it for now. Thanks, Amanda. uh, oh, and it looks like Sierra has a question scheduled for the workshops. So the ones that Tina, Nita, and Rick was asking for, that would be something that Amanda is going to be doing at Digital Pro Lab potentially. And as far as the ones at Landers Photography School, just go to landersphotoschool.com. I'll put that address up real quick. landersphotoschool.com. That's where you find it. All right, real quick, I want to go over the upcoming shows. I already mentioned them before, but just in case, next week is going to be it's going to be a replay. We won't be doing it live. It'll be a replay of Big Profits from Mini Sessions, and then the next week after that will be the evening one, because the second Monday of each month we do an evening panel where we've got up to 3 photographers and we ask some questions about a subject, so you can get multiple points of view on the same subject. And this one will be about mini sessions. And then on the 18th will be the advantages of being an introvert. Yeah, there are real advantages of being an introvert, and I'm going to share them with you and make you feel proud. And our 75th episode happens next month, and that will be July 25th. Confidence is a skill. I want to thank you guys for being here. I want to thank you for your interest in growing your knowledge on the business side of photography. Thank you for scheduling your time to be here today. I hope you enjoyed this lesson on business alliances. I am looking forward to watching you grow. For Landers Photography School and Digital Pro Lab, this is Jim Landers bringing you the weekly Portrait Profit Show, giving you evolving content, awareness, and even fun to the business side of photography through helpful information, step-by-step processes, and action steps that will help you with the struggles you deal with now, so you are consistently realigned to the path that leads to the success you deserve. Be here every Monday to experience a different way of looking at the business side of photography. Thank you for investing your time here at the Portrait Profit Show. Let's see. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here.